We are headed back to the garden. It's time to get our onions. So this is exciting. I've been waiting since, I think it was March that I planted these. So it's now October, and here we are, ready. I've brought a couple of big baskets. I've actually also brought the turmeric out because what we're going to do, behind this little pot of zinnias here, we have potatoes. So I'm going to grab those out while we're here, and I'm going to put my turmeric in that pot so that they can grow for summer. Okay, let me show you. The other day I came out to pick an onion and it was soft around here, so I pulled it out and it had rotted. I threw it up here. This is the onion I picked the other day, and I was so sad. It had bugs in it, so I put that there. But we are going to get these out today, even though they're still a bit green. We're going to do it anyway. So let's get started. Grab a couple of baskets. Now I'll need to cure any of these that I want to keep, but I want to try and get as much dirt off as possible. Leave that out here, and I'm going to set you up so you can watch. I should have said welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you're new, welcome for the first time. My name is Selena. This is Selena's table and our little Aussie homestead, and I've been waiting for these onions for so long, so I'm just going to get as much dirt off as I can and then pop them in my basket. What I will have to do with these is set them aside to cure or dry. I'm not going to peel any of this off, and I'm actually going to leave the root intact as well. And I'm leaving the paper on there. I'll pull off any like extra bits, get as much dirt out as I can, and then I'm actually going to set these up. I was trying to decide if I'm going to just put them on some cardboard or I might try and hang them. So I have a pallet on the front veranda, and I also have like a wire basket. So I'm sort of tossing up ideas on what how I will cure them, but we'll figure it out. This is my first year growing onions. I've grown one other harvest, I guess you'd say, at the beginning of the year, and they were super tiny. Like that would have been the biggest. Like if you can see that, that's really tiny. That would have been the biggest one we got in that harvest. So this is great. This is super exciting. And some things I learnt that I did wrong were I planted it at the wrong time of the year. For us, we definitely need to plant them in the cold, and I picked them way too early. So some of them look like they've got like some kind of, it's not mold, but I don't know. I'm just checking that they're not soft, because if they're soft, I probably can't keep them. And these onions will all be used for fresh eating and cooking. I won't be pickling any of these. And I don't remember the varieties, but there was a brown one, a red one, and a white one. And I don't think many of the white ones came up, but that one did. I feel like the onions took forever to grow. I did harvest a heap of these tops when they were much younger and the tops were much darker green. And I actually made a heap of pesto, onion top pesto, out of that, and that's really nice. I'll do that with next year's ones. And another thing I learnt is don't let them grow together. The ones that have grown together are smaller, and some of them are like not round, they've gone flat on one side. So this one might be a good one to show. Like that, how they've gone flat. So next year, I think it'll be next year. I think I'll plant these again I might plant them slightly earlier so that we're not in the heat of spring. Spring here in southeast Queensland is hot, especially where we are. So ideally, if these had been ready about a month ago, that would have been better. So I think I might try and plant them very end of February, beginning of March, instead of sort of mid-March. And I'll be spacing them out more. And another thing I learnt is that you need to sort of dig out the dirt a little as they're growing to allow them to bulb up. Considering I didn't do that with these until probably they were too big to be doing it. I'm happy with how big they are and how most of them, well, I haven't had one bad one yet today. I've had that one bad one the other day when I was looking for one for dinner, but yeah, hopefully that's my only bad one. I do have a second planting in the leek bed, which is just next to me here, but it only has about 7 to 10 in it, so I'm thinking it's just going to be hopefully the few that get me through until my next harvest is ready, my next onion harvest. Harvest day is always an exciting day, and I think it's even more exciting when you feel like you've been waiting such a long time. I'm not sure why. I've never grown onions before. I think it was a case of there's a little spiral one. I think it's a case of they've just always been so affordable to buy, but with the price of literally everything going up this year, that's what prompted me to really start trying to grow as much as I could and as many varieties of different things as I could to see what grows really well here, but also to see how we can save even more money, even if it is only a few dollars. And as I've mentioned in my videos before, this is an organic garden. We don't use any sprays or anything like that, and the only fertilizer I use is, other than the beds being well amended with like the blood and bone and manures and compost, the only other thing I do, not even often enough, is I do give them a water with seaweed solution, but not even that often. We do really well growing through winter. So next year, I don't know, next winter actually, winter autumn, I plan to have a lot more growing I've noticed the bug damage has really started to intensify the last couple of weeks as it's heated up. So next autumn and winter, I'm already starting to make plans now. We are going to try and grow just about everything. I'm going to give corn a go. We've never grown corn in like our winters, but I think it's probably warm enough that we can. And I do know that we have, oh, that one's stuck. We have a hard time with a lot of things in summer, and I feel like maybe, this is my thought pattern, is that maybe this year, next year, I should say, not this year, because this year's almost done. Next year, our growing, we might try and just grow through the autumn and winter and take the summer off, other than just a few small things like tomatoes and lettuce, you know, things that we would eat fresh. But we will try and grow lots of corn. We're going to try and grow cucumber in our winter in these big sunny garden beds and see how we go. See if we can get a decent, I'd love to grow a year's worth of food of each crop. I'd love a year's worth because we do preserve a lot. Things like potatoes and onions do store pretty well if you cure them properly. So I'm confident we can keep the produce and use it. It's just getting it to grow. So we'll see. Stay with me for that because I've already started planning it now, and I'll go into more detail when we get sort of to that time of year. I'm thinking the end of summer we will start our planting. Oh, that's a soft one. Ew, we've actually got a worm in it. That one's gone, it's gross. I can feel it soft. Yeah, I'm going to toss that one. Gross, but still not bad. Not bad if we only lose two. One today and one from the other day. We've got a handful back up the other end, but I'm almost got one more here. It's a red one, and what I've got left is, I don't know if you can see that, just there, just those couple there. And then we will have picked all of our onions for the whole year. I'm just so excited because I've been waiting for them and very impatiently, and you've heard about it many times. So I'm very excited that we finally get these onions out, and we can use these already. We can use these straight away, but we also will dry some so that they last until we're ready to use them. So I'm just going to grab those couple that are just there. All right, last ones. And my baskets, both of them are full. So I'm going to have to grab a cardboard box or something. Actually, I think I have one more big basket. I might run inside and grab my other big basket because I want to grab our potatoes out as well that I know are ready. Get this grass out. There we go. There is our onion harvest for 2023. That is awesome. Over here, this is what I was talking about before. I've got a few onions just here and there's another large one popping up. So when I scoop it, I just dig it out around it like that to allow the bulb to do its thing and not be restricted in pushing out. But I've probably only got, well, these are onions here. Maybe there's 20, but most of this is leek. I'm just going to run inside and grab that other large basket so that we can get our potatoes. Okay, I've got the last of our big baskets here with me. We'll head down here. I'm actually going to see what the potato situation is before I put the onions in this basket. And there's the bed that we're going to harvest the potatoes from. So I brought you along when I did a potato harvest in one of my Birdie's garden beds, the corrugated iron ones. I didn't bring you with me when I did dig up the ones that were in the little pallet just next to us here. I did do a short on it though, if you saw that. So yes, these are all little potatoes that I grew last year, the seed, and they were just sitting there in the bottom of the fridge waiting for the day that I felt like planting them. They were soft. So this to me is just like a bonus round of potatoes, and I just pull the tops out. I know there are ants in here, so I'm just going to try not to get bitten by any green ants, and we'll see how we go. I might try and get this mulch out. This is sugarcane mulch. Sugarcane mulch is what we use here. It's easy to get our hands on. And there's our first little one. He's so tiny. Maybe I'll put that there. Oh, there we go. It's a bit bigger. Bring you in a bit closer. Super tiny. Oh. Oh, there's a decent one. Some more. And I've said it before, digging potatoes is like digging for treasure. It's so fun. You don't want the bed to be recently watered, and we haven't had rain in ages, so I have been watering, but I've avoided watering. Oh, look at that one, this too much, because I knew that it was almost done. The way the plant top was looking. There's lots of little ones just there. Homegrown potatoes seriously taste so good. Roasted, boiled. I mean, yeah, we aren't the biggest potato eaters, but these little homegrown ones, they don't last long, because we do love them. Some of them are tiny, but they also were grown from the smallest seed. Like the little potatoes that I used to pop in here were like way too small. They wouldn't have probably been any bigger than that guy. So to get anything is pretty good. And this is just like a wine barrel pot. It used to have an avocado tree in it that died. So, and now it's actually full of ants, and I'm disrupting them. So can you see that? That's one of the seeds. It's all wrinkled. They usually rot away before we end up digging it up. But sometimes I come across them. There we go, some more. And the other thing is worms. Worms in the potato bed are always super healthy. There ants don't like the worms though, they'll kill them. So I'll actually probably put something on this pot to get rid of the millions of ants that I'm digging up right now. There's another seed. Looks like it's trying to go again. And the soil that I've used here is a mixture of mushroom compost and a garden soil that I get from the local landscape supply. I don't like the bags of like dirt that you can get from Bunnings because they seem to always be, no matter which one I buy, very wood chippy, and they seem to go dry very quickly. We haven't had a good run with them. I'm sure other people find them perfectly fine, and if you're one of those people, then that's great. But yeah, we have got a trailer, so we go and get a mixture from the landscape supply of 50% mushroom compost and 50% garden soil, and their garden soil is probably a medium sandy level of soil. Sometimes I'll add more sand, especially if I'm growing carrots, but we always add, it's got manure in it already, so when I do a amendment to a bed after I've harvested, I will add some more manure to it. We do use our chicken manure as well, but we haven't cleaned the chicken coop out for a little while, so we don't have any of that right now. And I think we may have harvested all of them. So that's our little potato harvest out of this barrel. That'll do us 2 nights worth of potatoes, 2 dinners, 2 meals for a family. Giving this a good dig around, there's no more potatoes in here. The soil seems really healthy. It's got moisture in it. It's full of worm castings, I can see that. So I'm only going to add a bit of blood and bone. Not even much, just a sprinkle. And I'm just going to dig that in. Okay, and then I'm going to take my turmeric. Now last year I only planted 5 fingers of turmeric and I got so much turmeric. If you saw my recent video where I showed you the bowl of turmeric that I harvested from my 5 little fingers, they were planted in, it was in one of the garden beds, but it was in the corner. So I wanted to give it a dedicated space like I did with the ginger this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off my fingers and then I'm going to evenly space them. Like that. And then I'll evenly space them around the pot. And I'm actually going to put a couple of beans on top because these will sit in here all summer. Okay, just going to bury them down. Nothing special to it, just bury them, smooth it over the top. Okay, I'm then going to grab just a couple of my climbing beans. These are the Kentucky Wonder. They're a yellow bean. These did really well last summer, so I'm going to put these in. Just a few, probably 3, 6, 8. Just around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just for something. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. We will find out. That's how I garden. It's very much, I don't really know what I'm doing. I just wing it and then learn from what works. So there we go. Just put some of this old mulch back on top because that keeps the moisture in. Some of it's nice and moist too. And the rest I'll dump on that onion bed because I'm not ready to actually amend that one yet. I won't amend that onion bed just yet, but I'll pop this mulch that's left over from this little barrel. I'll put that on there until I get to it. So yeah, that's our turmeric planted, our potatoes harvested, and our onions harvested. Let's go look at everything we got today. I ended up moving my potatoes to the little basket, and I ended up filling those 3 large baskets. But I noticed I need to get some of these little baby capsicums, so I'm going to put them in here with the potatoes. That's all it needs harvesting today, and then we'll have a look at what we collected. The rest are just here. I think I'll leave everything else on there. There we go. Add that to our onions. And there's today's harvest. Thank you for spending time with me today out in the garden. We got our onion harvest, some more potatoes, and a couple of chilies and capsicum. I just want to say thanks for spending time with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you liked this video, I have more gardening videos coming and more cooking as well. Have a great week. Bye.